Hi everyone, let's talk meta bow builds. This video will summarize what the current thinking is on top bow builds. We'll first have a look at what the best bows are, and then the builds themselves. Note that I won't cover heroics builds in this video as they're quite niche. The best bows are the ones that have high raw attack and close range coating, since close range coating gives a whopping 40% raw damage. Even elemental bows want this since most of their damage is still raw. If you don't like the shortened range, you can go with a bow with high attack and power coating instead. Power coating only gives 30% raw damage, but it's still a lot. It's less damage than close range, but more comfort. Here's a table that summarizes the best bows for each element. Note that not all of them are Artian. And speaking of Artian bows, currently the best bang for your buck is an Artian bow with all attack infusions and reinforcements, and of course 3 parts of the same element. Currently, the best overall build when dash dancing is probably a 4-piece Gore build. This features the arc chest with 4 Gore pieces. Skill-wise, we get the 4-piece Gore bonus, 5 weakness exploiter, 1 adrenaline rush, and 1 burst. 1 level of adrenaline rush and burst give a lot of value. And of course, don't forget to take 5 constitution to max out stamina reduction. They even have 2 free levels of evade window for comfort. The armor side of this build gives up to 55 affinity on weak points, 31 flat raw attack, 40 flat elemental attack, and 5% elemental attack. Also have a good amount of flex slots remaining. Stamina surge is generally recommended for the level 2 slots, but if you don't think you need the extra stamina regen, other good ones are Coalescence for elemental, Part Breaker, Evade Window, and Ambush for speedrunning. For the level 1 slot, just pick your favorite utility. This build can be played both elemental and raw, so pick the appropriate bow from earlier. Typically we want to play elemental though, because raw is just a generic option. For elemental, you'll take spread shot, crit boost, and elemental attack. Raw, you will take spread shot, crit boost, and more crit boost. Tetrad shot is also an option. It supposedly gives slightly more damage but forces a more restrictive playstyle. And now a Dragon Piercer build. This uses a raw bow due to DP's high raw scaling. Weapon skills are Crit Boost, Pierce Shot, and True Shot to boost DP damage. Armor-wise, it's a 2-piece Gore build with Agitator 4 and Adrenaline Rush 1. This is a bit better than the previous build for DP for a few reasons, namely that elemental attack bonuses are irrelevant here, burst skill up time with DP is not great, and higher affinity here helps DP crit consistency. Part Breaker is taken because the other level 2 skills are not very useful here. For example, stamina usage is pretty low for Dragon Piercer playstyle. Part Breaker gives some extra damage, and Part Breaking gives more opening to safely DP. Note that this build should only be played against certain enemies like Arkfeld, Jindahad, Nuudra, and Uthduna, where you can getting a ton of hits with Dragon Piercer. For the dash dancing playstyle, 2-piece Gore builds are also competitive with a 4-piece build. The core of these builds is 2-piece Gore with Arc Chest, G-Arc Gloves, and Weakness Exploiter Charm. This gives the 2-piece Gore bonus with maxed Weakness Exploiter. You then take a different helm and level 3 gems depending on what skills you want to focus on. The 3 main ones are Burst, Agitator, and Adrenaline Rush. Again, note that the first level in Adrenaline Rush or Burst is very good value. Weapon skills are the same as the 4-piece Gore build. You also have 3 level 2 flex slots as well. Some examples: a burst-based build, an agitator-based build, and an adrenaline rush-based build. The 4-piece Gore build is generally better than these builds on average, but depending on the uptimes of agitator, adrenaline rush, and burst, these may be better in some situations. However, the difference is not that big either way. Last, let's have a look at a comfort build. Comfort is pretty subjective, but here is my take on it. It's a 2-piece Gore, 2-piece Arkfeld build. Offense-wise, you still get the 2-piece Gore bonus with Antivirus, max Weakness Exploiter, and some levels in Burst, Adrenaline Rush, and Agitator. Comfort-wise, you get Evade Window 2 and the healing bonus of 2-piece Arc. One more thing to mention, the use of Corrupted Mantle is highly recommended. It gives up to 20 raw and 30 affinity, which is absolutely massive. Even if you're not speedrunning, you really should be using this. So to summarize, use the 4-piece Gore build for Dash Dancing playstyle, the Dragon Piercer build for the Dragon Piercer playstyle. There could still be some optimizations still to be made, but they would all be very minor. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.